What is up? Welcome back to Bleach Boys. We have officially executed Josh, or kind of like Kagerosa. Maybe I merged.
You don't want to.
So it would be like a reverse situation where, like, what's his name, Oaken or whatever. It sounds like the Oaken from the movie, but I don't think that's his name. Where instead my weakness is you somehow get Josh to merge with me, and I would retake the bad parts in.
Oh.
Did they do that with Boo? Did they make Fat Boo go into him for a second? Yeah, so they like lessen him.
Yeah,
it would be like that. Like Josh is Fat Boo, obviously, for obvious reasons.
So you're Super Boo.
Yeah, I'm Super Boo.
Okay,
obviously,
okay.
Yeah,
so super Sam.
Boo Prime, some would say. You know, it's like So I lose. Well, do I lose? I become Oob, right? This is now a Dragon Ball Z podcast.
Okay, yeah. So
because what even happens to Oob?
I think
he's not in Super.
Oob is GT, so it's a non.
No, but he's at the end of Dragon Ball Z.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's at the end of Dragon Ball Z. He's the very last episode.
But we have Boo though.
Yeah. So because there's Fat Boo and then there's Oob, where Oob is Kid Boo and Fat Boo is a separate entity. So they both exist.
So I think Fat Boo was the nice reincarnated version. And
well, they touch on Fat Boo in the manga for Dragon Ball Super, and I don't want to spoil the manga because that hasn't been adapted in the anime. But they touch on him there, and they just don't ever mention Oob. Oob is just MIA, which is crazy. Anyways, welcome to the Bleach podcast. We finished the Reigai arc, which is just so unexciting, and that we would just rather talk about Dragon Ball Z, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, what happened? Mirror fights. That's what we got to see.
So we watched the last, I believe it was 5 episodes exactly, which worked out perfectly. Exactly. And then we went one further so we could watch the final goodbye to Rukia because I love that episode.
Tearjerker.
The Reigai arc, I don't ever want to hear again about it being good.
The only good thing was literally the last bit of Ichigo fighting him.
Well, literally, so that fight, we've been told, because we've talked about the Regai fight for a very long time, and obviously there was a couple week break where we got terminated, so we weren't there for that. But even then, people were still asking about the Regai arc. You know, the only thing I got told over and over and over was, dude, the Ichigo versus whatever his name fight is badass. It's really, really good. Jose, what did you think?
It was meh up until we got those couple of scenes at the end, and that's about it.
It was well animated. It almost felt to me. So I know the way that the anime industry works is a lot of times they will give scenes to different people to animate. Yeah. So it's and then they kind of splice them together. So sometimes you get scenes which look fucking amazing, and it's oh, that's some really good key anime. Yeah. It's good. This crazy guy. I felt like it was very noticeable in this fight where there
it
was
was one person did this, one person did that.
And I could tell that sometimes they didn't interlock. We were watching and you're like, wait, what the fuck? I thought it was a direct hit. And he's meanwhile, it's jumping back. He didn't just get fucking roasted.
And where did Nemu go? Okay. She showed up and her body was laying there. I would have picked it up and put it somewhere nice.
It was Reigai Nemu, so, not that big of a deal.
I would still love her just the same.
So the Reigai basically... Jose mentioned we get mirror fights. That's pretty much the name of the game for these 5 episodes.
God, it was so bad.
Basically, all the captains re-show up. It is worth noting that my one true love, Kukaku, gets a brief mention.
No lines.
No lines. She shows up on Jadamba with Ganju.
Yep.
They do the fireworks. She does some sort of Hado Kido something. And that's it. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we just hung out with Kukaku and healed. And then we don't ever see her again. She doesn't ever make an appearance.
They never mention her.
Nothing. And she's so key. She literally saved them from getting jumped.
But in the comment section, someone did say Sam would be happy about it.
She's gay. Well, I just was blown away that I was like, oh, my girl. And it's oh, she's gone.
Get it.
That's it.
She blew you away because fireworks.
Fireworks, yeah. Hilarious. We're a match made in heaven, really. So I was just okay, cool. And then they start the captain fight again because Urahara and Ichigo are about to get jumped. They all immediately pick themselves to fight.
Who the fuck does that?
The moment we were watching, I turned to Jose, I'm I fucking hate mirror fights. Yep. I hate them in anything. In TCG games, in fucking fighting games, in anything. I hate mirror fights. They are so boring. Yeah. So boring. And it's it's even more boring in anime and stuff where it's oh, I gotta best my inner self or whatever context you want to put it to. It's just it's stupid. It's dumb.
It's been there, done that.
And I think it's even more insult to injury that nobody won. Nobody won.
No one won because they were being outnumbered.
Yep.
They were smart tactic targeting one person.
Yeah, the Reigais were
they know what they were up to.
Guerrilla tactic bullshit. They were crazy.
Byakuya just took one for the team.
Byakuya, okay, once again, I've said this before. I'll say it again. Byakuya carried this arc so hard. So hard. You think about the very beginning part, he took out, 3 captains?
Yeah.
Okay? Then... he took on 5 of them in the grand jumping in the library, and then he's the guy to figure out the tactics and make it so that they're not going to get whopped.
Exactly.
It's crazy how much Byakuya had to do, even saving Yoruichi.
That's true. Yeah, he had to.
It's just dude.
Which is weird, though, because she was bouncing in and out of the fight. the whole time.
Yeah.
She would show up for the talking, then leave when the fight happens.
So they basically figure out via Byakuya is that they are purposely singling out people because the Soul Society, as we've heard multiple times, the captains are very prideful. They like 1v1s. We make fun of it all the time that it's always a 1v1 fight. These captains have decided, fuck that. We're going to wait for people to do 1v1s, but then when we see an opening in somebody else's 1v1, we're going to come in and do a little slash.
I did like that a lot.
We're going to do a little hit, little poke, and it's like that way they slowly start to take people out, and then once they get the numbers, they'll just jump everybody, and it's game over.
And then I like the Zaraki and his two partners.
So they eventually go back to back, even like all the lieutenants in different locations, like 3 groups going back to back. And Byakuya basically explains that although they are doing that tactic, he does not think any one of them will give up their life to create an opening because you know they don't want to like lessen the numbers, they don't want to give up their life, whatever. So from then on, they have a staring contest, okay? Until eventually it's like the Reigai decide, hey, the main bad guy up there, he's kind of going cray. So we're going to go give our lives to take care of him.
Yeah.
And that's how that fight ends.
Yeah, because they're like, we're also captains, so we're going to sacrifice ourselves too to protect this place.
Yeah, it's like old man Yama shows up, and Ukataki's like, you remember what I told you?
Where the fuck was he the whole time?
He was
just taking a nap,
he was doing something. He was resting, he was chilling. And then it's like all of the Regai just go up and give their lives away to try to stop the main bad guy, which, by the way, the main bad guy, I think was the shittiest, lowest motivation. It's basically the school shooter of Bleach, where he was upset that he had no friends.
Yeah.
And he was bullied. So he made it his life mission.
No one supported him, okay?
He made it his life mission to come back and destroy the Soul Society.
Yep.
Literally.
Be nice to everybody, all right?
You never know what might happen.
He might try to destroy the Soul Society.
You would think the Soul Society would learn after the 3rd, 4th, 5th guy that want to do that after they're purposely mean to somebody. But no, not this guy. And he basically decides, fuck you guys, fuck friends, I'm killing the Soul Society. Ichigo's friends show up, which I don't know why. They don't explain, first of all, how they even get there, because they cannot go through.
Was it Tessai, maybe?
They can't go through the regular Senkaimon, though. Like, they can't, call the butterfly and go through. Well, the Soul Reapers can, but Uryu can't, Chad can't,
and Orihime can't.
Orihime can't. It's like they don't explain how they get there. Obviously, they were hanging out with Tessai, so it could be
some keto magic.
Some sort of, bullshit happening. But they show up to basically save the now holified Ichigo, which is not relevant at all.
No.
Not relevant. He just basically gets pinned down, and that's it. I thought, so he went to, basically full hollow, talking visored kind of mode, like when the visors were training him hollow.
With the long hair.
I don't know what you call that.
But not the cool horn mode.
Yeah, not Vasilordi form, but it's kind of monster hollow form. I don't know what the proper name for it is. Yeah, so he goes that, and I told Jose, it would be sweet if he started going around just stomping people, regardless of what
crazy,
side they were on, just boom, 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 boom. He doesn't do that. He barely kind of holds off Nanao, which is weird.
What, so Katsui and...
Yeah, so he's about to basically take down Nanao, and that's when the fully now formed main bad guy shows up and does kind of nothing to him. It's just oh, you're the loser. Look at you, what a monster. And then dicks off to the hill where everything happens, the execution hill. Literally everything ever happens on that hill.
Even in the movies.
Yep. Ichigo follows him up there, and it's just garbage. It's just Ichigo goes to attack. He pins him to the fucking wall. Ichigo breaks out of the pen. Then his friends show up to save him. The friends do literally nothing.
Power of friendship is what they do, okay?
Yeah, Kon at one point legitimately says, we are going to teach him the power of friendship. And I about rolled my eyes out of my skull on that.
You thought you were watching Fairy Tail,
Holy shit. But it's it wasn't even done in a cool, touching way where it's with Fairy Tail, I can remember watching that in high school and being hyped when that moment happened. As bullshit as power of friendship is. I remember in Fairy Tail, I was yeah, fuck him up, legit, yeah. Fuck him up. In this, I was just ugh.
It's the way, I think it was the way Kon delivered it.
Well, also, it's they kept bringing up this friendship thing, and they're we should all attack together. And then Kon was kind of the rallying cry, where it's why are you guys hanging out on the floor? Let's fucking
get your
go.
asses up. Let's go, boys.
And so he rallies everybody to come help, and they don't do anything. They do nothing.
Yeah, up until they're wait, we should work together to help Ichigo out.
And even then, the helping each other out is basically they threw their bodies at the main bad guy until eventually Ichigo was able to stun lock him with a Getsuga.
Yup.
It was they just wanted Ichigo to clash blades with them one time, and then Ichigo did the rest by himself.
Exactly.
The literally rest. And the time that he clashed blades, that was the time I was referencing where he looked like he got hit point blank with a Getsuga, but the next thing you know, he was jumping away.
Yep. I was just what the fuck?
So I felt
a little cheated from how much hype this had. there were the great scenes where he like reverses the grip on the Getsuga and then hits him.
It had the occasional really, I think it's called Sakuga is what it's called, where like the really like beautiful scenes of animation just randomly put in there. But I think as a whole, as this arc was incredibly boring. I incredibly didn't care. They incredibly did the same thing over and over again, where they clearly have 5 moves or whatever, and they're like, well, that's all we can kind of use. Where some people don't even go Bankai, some people don't even go Shikai. So, Urahara versus Urahara was kind of funny, but like that was because they legitimately
shadow cloned.
Yeah, they basically shadow cloned over and over again. It was like, okay, that's kind of funny that they're hamming it up. That one they were very much hammed it up. But the rest of the fights, they were legitimately trying, and nobody did anything. Like I don't know if you noticed in the last like gang fight where basically it didn't get resolved.
Yeah.
Hitsugai doesn't go Bankai.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
That's his thing.
Doesn't go Bankai. Yoruichi doesn't go
Hanako.
Yoruichi doesn't go Shunko.
Yeah,
doesn't go
that's true.
Shunko. Neither does Soifan.
Yeah.
And they're just hanging out there. And Soifan's person is removed from the thing. Like Soifan gets destroyed by Urahara and Kom. Like they're out. And so Soifan should have an advantage here. And nothing. Nope. Komamura does go Bankai because he literally has no other skills.
Yeah, that's all he can do right now.
Tetsuzaemon is there. He's doing his thing.
He's just doing his thing, wearing his shades, being the cool guy that he is.
And it's just like, it's weird that they've just decided to not use some people's powers. I don't know why, just to add to the thrill of it. I don't fucking know.
I mean, I don't.
It just lessens my, I don't know. It lessens, I feel like as a manga reader, because we were manga readers at this point, and that's why we've never seen this arc before, it lessens the impact of Ichigo losing his powers. And that's my problem that I have with, let's say, it going on to the Fullbring arc after this as well. I mentioned this way early on, that I hate that it goes to the Fullbring arc. The anime should have just ended at this point right here where they say goodbye to Rukia, and then when it comes back, do the Fullbring arc.
Yeah,
because then it's like
agree
we
with
get
that.
a break. Like we've lived the IRL break. You know, we get to come back with Ichigo and be like, damn, it's been a long time since he's
that would have been really nice.
And we get to come back for that. That being said, I don't know how the transition from the Fullbring arc to the 1,000-Year Blood War would feel. I don't know how that would feel because obviously, who knows? But I do think that would have been so much better because
was it a huge gap from Fullbring to the 1,000-Year Blood War arc?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't remember.
I think there's
so.
Quite a big gap between Goodbye Rukia and Fullbring though.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm saying it would be perfect for that to be the spot where we kind of take a break. But I don't know. I've never watched the Fullbring arc. Like I've read it. So I've never watched it. So
I
could be wrong. We could see. I think I definitely saw the last episode because I wanted to see how it ends, and I'm pretty sure it ends with like an over-the-shoulder shot from Ichigo.
Probably.
So we'll see because I think the goodbye to Rukia was super touching.
I think it was perfect. If they had done it without having this whole arc, I think maybe 3 episodes tops, and then the goodbye Rukia.
They kind of.
I think it would have been perfect.
Ichigo has a moment in the last episode with Rukia where he's leaving school and he's complaining about having to do homework.
Yep.
And he goes, "Oh, I'm having to catch up on all the homework I missed with Aizen." He doesn't even mention what
Any
he
of
just
this
went
shit,
through.
yeah.
And then it's not until they're walking later where he kind of throws in a mention where it's like, "Hey, Rukia, how are you able to find me?" Like, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know." It's like,
just you know, just you know what? I do ship Ichigo and Rukia.
Thank you.
I get it.
Thank you.
I get why Sam's upset.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I like Orihime better.
That episode was so good.
Yeah,
like
it's just solidifies how good of a friendship they have, whether it's platonic or more romantic. I lean a little bit more towards the romantic side. Like, it's beautiful. They know each other. They understand each other's feelings. A little tear may have happened.
It's just like, the part, and I didn't remember this being the saddest part, but there's a part where Ichigo fights the final hollow. Basically, he recognized, like, oh, this is going to be my final. This is final Getsuga, but not the final, not final Getsuga, not Mugetsu. Just his final Getsuga he's going to do. And he's basically going to collapse on the floor, and he knows, like, he knows he's losing. He's zucked.
Yeah.
And he basically tells Rukia, like, don't forget we're friends. Like,
yeah.
and I was like, oh.
I was just like, oh.
He's like, we're friends, right? We're real friends. And she's like, yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god.
When he wakes up and he's just like, oh, I guess I'm still able to see you, kind of stuff. Then it progresses to everybody kind of saying like goodbye, but Ichigo's the only one saying goodbye because everyone else can still see her.
Well, Ichigo walks outside, which is really sad too. He has to go outside. And he's like, I can't sense anything.
I know. When he was looking all around, I was like, oh, my boy.
And then you know it's coming. You know
turns
it's
around.
coming.
Low-key, I wish he would have gave her a kiss on the cheek or something.
I think that would have been weird. That would have ruined it maybe. Because they've never been like that. But
it's like if he had like touched her face or held her hand through that moment.
I think that would have
been a little bit.
I think it would have been a little too out of the random. I would have been like, ooh, okay.
You're like, Ichigo.
It's like he really shot his shot the last second. He's not gonna be able to see her. It's like he's not gonna get an answer for years.
Sam, that's what happened. He was too into Rukia. She left him, and now Orihime's like,
Orihime swooped in like
let me get in
wounded
the DMs.
gazelle.
The
Wounded
DMs.
gazelle.
Yup.
Orihime's like, oh, it's okay, Rukia. Or Ichigo, and then Rukia's, no, you can't, not even in the picture.
Yup,
He
yup.
literally can't see her ever again.
Exactly.
Literally, as far as she knows.
But I do like the fact that Rukia can come back and see him whenever. She can just go Regai, right?
That's what I was confused by as well. When it's like, they kind of make this big touching scene, but it's like, she surely could just come back in Regai. Same thing with all of the
Renji and
captains
everybody
and
else,
stuff.
right?
They all had Gegais. They could just come say what up.
Yeah, because all the school kids could see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is a little weird. Like, I don't know.
She might, well, because she did say that Afro Samurai dude is gonna take over, so she might not even be able to be in
From
Karakura
from
Town
like a
anytime.
mission standpoint, definitely that's what it is. Where
But
they're like,
I mean, they got time off.
yeah.
I mean, you know,
It doesn't make much sense aside from like a purely they are like basically they're in the army, you know, and they're like, hey,
they're
it's
enlisted.
like you can't go fuck around over there. It's like before you were helping out our guy. He's gone. You got to move on. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, we ain't going to waste any time on that anymore. You know, Yamamoto. He's like, fuck that shit. So they move. Regardless, it was very sad, and I liked it a lot.
I love that ending. It would have been a perfect ending for Bleach, and I think you did say it before, and I was just like, it's a good one. It was definitely like, it brought back some memories and stuff. Just that whole arc where she's like, oh, you know, you're so much stronger than when I first met you. It's unbelievable. Immediately you see him getting stabbed. Then you get him rescuing her, everything.
I really like seeing the OG design of Ichigo. I was like, damn, he do look different.
Did you notice, like, his forehead was smaller and his eyes were a lot bigger.
Yeah, he looks way different.
Yeah, he looks so different.
Like, you can see the character design change, and you can definitely see it in the manga, too. Like, that is, like, the OG manga design. And then you compare it to something now, even, like, the latest chapter that just came out. He
looks so different. They all look so different.
It's crazy. It's like the art style is totally, like...
Kubo had such a glow up in his art. Like, it was already good, but then it was just like, let me keep working on this and make him look pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this episode was really good, and it seems like from the previews, next time we go almost immediately into Fullbring.
It looks like
it doesn't
it
even
looks
skip
like
a fucking beat because
it looks like Ichigo's gonna be working with his hot lady.
And
boss.
from what I can tell, Ichigo's sisters were older. That's what I think the
Karin
giveaway
and
was.
Yuzu,
Is like they looked a little bit older.
Yeah, because Karin had the hair up, I think, and Yuzu's hair was long.
Because they're very young in the mainline series.
Yep.
So it's kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see what the Fullbring's going to be like because obviously we've never done it before. I don't think the Fullbring arc is very long. So we're coming very rapidly.
I think it's only 2 seasons.
Yeah, we're coming very rapidly to the end here. But I wish it would have ended here. You know, and I
agree.
I just want to go back and say the Regai arc was trash. Okay. I don't want to hear shit all about how...
I'm not going to complain.
I don't want to hear shit all about how it was good. It had no redeeming qualities in it whatsoever, aside from the fact Kukaku makes an appearance as dot number 1.
What about 2?
There's none. There's
okay,
not a
so
second
just the one.
There's not a second one. It's too goddamn long. It comes in at a weird time. It ruins Ichigo losing his powers.
It does lessen
it. It drags it on for too long. Like, he still gets to hang out with his powers for that long. It's stupid. They basically have him lose powers at one point and then get them back, which is stupid again.
Because they popped the pill.
They basically... I feel like the past couple of filler arcs, they use the hollow bit too much. Like, too much. I don't care. It lessens it. He should have been able to say at least goodbye to Zangetsu, by the way, which is stupid.
Right? We would have seen that. Like, both White Ichigo and the Zangetsu would have been cool to see.
So I just think the Regai arc was trash. I think it was as, I don't know, like, low-hanging fruit as you possibly could go. What if we make duplicates of everybody and they fight?
I mean, from what I've seen, Bleach just did not do good in fillers, which...
Yeah,
that's just very normal in average of anime when they run that long for like a consecutive amount of time. They just can't do everything.
Yep. So Sam's definitive list of the fillers. Now that I've seen all of them.
All right, all of them.
The Zanpakuto Rebellion arc is number 1. Then the Bount arc. Okay, fuck all of you guys out there. That is number 2 because you guys be sleeping on that shit. All right, that is way better than number 3, which is the Amagai arc. Okay, that one at least had kind of a good story, but I hate Amagai. I hate Makoto. And I hate Lady Raruchio. I cannot stand. And those are the 3 main characters of the whole arc.
Yeah.
Cannot stand any of them. Number 4 is obviously Regai arc. I mean, that is like coming in dead last. And I think, and I don't know if, I sometimes get this way with anime. I don't know if that's purely because I know we're close to the end and I wanted to see the Rukia one where I kind of get a little antsy. It was like, hey, come on.
You're just
chop,
like, hurry up.
Chop. I want to get to the good shit. Or I think it's a placement issue, which I know is a lot of people's problems with the Bount arc. I could not get into it at all. I could not physically get into it at all.
Yeah. You didn't miss much when you were gone last week.
I kind of got the gist of it from having, because I edited the podcast. I kind of got the gist of it and then having to go look up like a thumbnail and stuff. I kind of like got the backstory of what was happening with all this stuff. And I was like, I don't care. I literally don't care.
Yeah.
It was okay.
It was a rough one, definitely.
Yeah.
Trying to get through this was pretty bad. Now, at least we got Fullbring to look forward to, which is.
I mean, Fullbring to look forward to? Question mark.
I mean,
question mark. We'll see.
Yeah.
There's obviously going to be the cool part where all the captains come back, which
yeah.
you know, I
want to see that intro.
I know that's good.
I want to see that entrance. Just be
but I don't know what else to look forward to.
But what do we have after that?
That's it.
We're done with Bleach.
So there's still no announcement on when the anime is coming back. 1,000 Year Blood War is totally who the fuck knows. We posted our review of the latest chapter, which there's no set kind of release date for when that's going to continue. They obviously set up a whole new arc. If you still missed that episode, of course, go back and watch it. We love that. We had special guest Pythes, who is basically one of you guys, one of the boys hanging out in the comments, kind of filling us up with lore and stuff. He is the lore master, so we had him on for the brand new chapter, so he could kind of
fantastic. He
point out all of the really awesome shit that we would have normally have missed.
But it was cool because I mean he knows all of Camp Your Own World and all the other light novels.
So he's like the man. So we had him on. That was really really fantastic. And then after that, I mean, we could go into Camp Fear Your Own World, which I think takes place right after the 1,000 Year Blood War, which might be a little weird. But I don't know. We'll kind of see what happens. I'm kind of hoping they at least announce when the anime is going to come back.
You know what?
Go from there.
We'll watch Burn the Witch with Josh.
True. We could do that. That's a great point. Okay, well, let's call it. Thanks for watching. The Reigai arc is in the books. Thank fucking God. If you like the Reigai arc, what did you think about it? Of course, let us know in the comments down below. If you are not a YouTube commenter, a filthy YouTube commenter, you'd, of course, hit us up on Discord. The description, we'll have a link to the Discord.
It is open 24/7. Trust me.
Or you can hit us up Instagram, Twitter. We're at the Weebs Guild on both of those. So we hope to see you guys next time for the final arc of the Bleach anime. And hopefully it's good. So thank you for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe or heart or do whatever. And we will see you guys. Oh, next Sunday. We're moving the schedule to Sunday. So Bleach Boys will be coming out Sunday from now on. I probably should have said this at the start of the video.
Yeah, that would
Bleach Boys is going to be coming out on Sunday now. So that's the new schedule. Sunday morning will be Bleach Boys. Sunday night, Bleach Brave Soul stream. So it's
anything Bleach related
Sunday.
will be on Sunday.
Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Have a good one.